Hello, the halo behind my head is intentional. uh, what I want to share with you today is normally lately I have touched upon some of my weekly musings that I call them. Today I won't be doing it, but I'll share something else. For the past 2-3 days, I have been trying to learn video editing, and I have mastered some of the basics. And I feel that I can add visual enhancements to the edited video, and I feel that it gives much more clarity than just a talking head video is what they call this, a person talking straight into the camera with no visual aids. I tried it, and it's the first effort. The visuals are good, so you'll get to, as rudimentary as they are, and maybe not very good, but it's an attempt, and I think they have come out well. So I have decided to sacrifice the live stream that I have been doing so far. Actually, I prefer that, but then I think this is much more helpful to my viewers. So from now on, most of my videos will be recorded. The downside, of course, is that the editing part of it is quite time consuming. It's not easy, and all these application software, the free ones, they have enormous capabilities, but they have a steep learning curve, and it does take a lot of time to edit even a 10-minute video. It's very difficult. It takes quite some time, and once you start adding effects, you just get addicted to them and then try to keep creating more and more effects. So that's a downside, but I think the visuals speak more than as picture speaks more than 1,000 words, so do the visuals. So I will do this, but of course, please do leave your comments if you like this, if you would prefer this kind of videos with visual aids, and or you would like me to continue live. Okay, please go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments. I need that feedback. Namaskaram, namaste, greetings. My name is Ramakrishnan. I'm from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. I think this is probably the 11th or 12th episode that I'm doing on adopting and adapting some of the sutras of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras to manage our daily lives. I've realized that the number of the episode doesn't matter. It's much more what matters is the content. As usual, the playlist containing the previous episodes is given in the description. Please do, if you want to understand more, you should probably start from episode 1 if you have not seen them. Only then you'll get a better understanding and much more takeaways from these videos. Today, I think we are going to conclude the very arduous journey that we have undertaken, and I know that maybe some of those episodes might have been boring and repetitive, but I thought they were necessary so that you can grasp the whole system and the problems that are being addressed. That's why maybe I rambled on a bit and repeated, but the intention was to ensure that it stays in the mind, that you're able to understand it. Now also, I think I realized that maybe once a week posting is not very good, because you would probably have forgotten what was there in the previous episode. So I am considering recording at least 4 or 5 of these episodes and then uploading them on a daily basis. Maybe that would be better. Please leave your thoughts about that also. I think that continuity is important, and a week is too long a gap. As is my wont, I begin with stating the second aphorism from the first book of the first of 4 books of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, that is Samadhi Pada, Sadhana Pada, Vibhuti Pada, and Kaivalya Pada. The second sutra of Samadhi Pada defines and states the objective of yoga. Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is, you will see visuals, okay, and I will be appearing in a circle in the corner, hopefully, after I edit this. The restraint of the Vrittis, the modifications to the mind stuff. We have discussed these. There are 5 modifications: real cognition, unreal cognition, verbal delusion, sleep, and memory. We also said that these 5 are caused by Kleshas or afflictions. We also described at length these 5 afflictions, which are ignorance, ego, obsession, over-attachment, aversion or hatred, clinging to life. In the previous episode, I had promised that I would say what is meant by clinging to life. It's my interpretation. Okay, what Patanjali means here is not that we all fear death and desperately cling on to life, saying, "I want this, I want this, I want this, I want to live." No, that's not meant by Patanjali. Does not mean that. He says overly the clinging to life to pursue sensual pleasures, other obsessive desires. That is what he means when he says clinging to life. Because without life, we are not going to be able to practice all this. So we do need to cling to life, especially we mortals, normal human beings who work every day for a living and have people dependent on us, loved ones, other ones. Of course, we need to live. So the clinging to life applies to living hedonistic lifestyle and material pursuits, obsessive material pursuits for such things. Bharatavarshe philosophy, it's prescribed for every human being, that is to lead a life of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. These 4 are prescribed, and the Yoga Sutra is a manual for achieving all these 4. If you are able to carry out even 20-30% of the prescribed practices, they will allow you to complete this sort of this life that has been prescribed in our scriptures. That is achieve a right way of living, dharma, artha, that is wealth, prosperity, and that's not, again, I'm emphasizing, it is not amassing wealth, but for the purposes, it's as a tool. Dharma, artha, kamya, again, people, it's not lust, desire for good things, desire for a happy life, an easy life, a desire for the welfare of everyone. That is what is meant here by kama. It's there's a good desires and not lust, which is what is normally meant by kama. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, liberation. So if you can practice even a little bit of the sutras, I can assure you can lead a life that will fulfill all these 4. And I think we are used to this by now, that Patanjali, with his usual brilliance and brevity, has given us a solution for this, for the Purusharthas. It's amazing. We also discussed the obstacles to restraint, to nirodha, yoga's chitta vritti nirodha, restraint of the modifications. So we need to practice restraint, but we said that there are 10 obstacles to this restraint. I'm not reading them in order, but let me see. It is disease, dullness, doubt, carelessness, laziness, obsessive pursuit of sensual pleasures, castles in the air, illusions, incorrect assumptions, giving up before reaching the objectives, falling back after reaching the objectives, not being able to stay there steadily. That is the steadiness of mind that we wish to attain. So these are the 10 obstacles to restraint. We also discussed that because of these restraints, there are 5 adjuncts to these that come along with this. We call it free supplements that are given along with these. The Tamil magazines used to have Diwali, so one of our persons is, and we have named him Ilavasai. So yeah, you get these 5 as free supplements, and these are distress, despair, trembling, shakiness of breath, and a distracted mind. So these are the 5 additions to those obstacles. You need to bear with me because of my background in quality. I keep referring to root cause analysis, and I claim that Patanjali used it. I'm not saying he's the originator. I don't want to make that claim, but he certainly used it, is my opinion, in arriving at what exactly is the problem, to which he then had to figure out the solutions. Patanjali observed that the mind often gets disturbed, and reactions are not commensurate with the sensory inputs that evoke those reactions. So this was his first, what can we say? This was his first finding. And then he said why, the 5 whys analysis. He asked for why. And then he realized that this is because of certain modifications happening to the mind. And then he listed those modifications that we have seen. Once he concluded that the mind is being modified, then he asked himself why? Why is it being modified? It dawned upon him that these happen because of inappropriate responses to external inputs and also memories, experiences, feelings. These are the ones that are responsible for causing these modifications. Again, he asked why. Then he said that there are these 5 afflictions that again we have discussed. So out of 5 whys, he stopped at the 4th why and said, these afflictions, they are the root cause. They cloud the mind, they cloud the decision-making process, they interfere in this, they cause perturbations. And so the disturbances of the mind, we can trace it back to the 5 afflictions. So now let's look at, we have discussed this, but again, summarizing with visuals, please remember, we will discuss this whole system, the sensory perceptions and the end result and how it happens. So we get sensory inputs and we have a controller. That controller, so this is the first step, the controller passes on the sensory input to the processor. From the processor, it goes to the database to see if there's a match for that sensory perception, for that sense. And then if there is a match, it also knows, this database also has told what was the previous reaction. It fetches both, but again it analyzes and applies rational thought, logic, wisdom, and then sees if that action that was taken previously was appropriate. If yes, it will again go back to the controller, direct the controller, and the controller will set into motion one or more of the 5 organs of action. This is the whole cycle of taking action. And when the action is taken, the ego gets attached to that action, and that is where the sense of I am comes in. This is the gist. And in that process, when the processor checks with the database and sees that there is no match, that is saved in the database for future reference. This is the whole cycle. So the input, of course, memories can also trigger actions. Ultimately, it's the controller responsible for the 5 sense organs coming in and for setting in motion the 5 organs of action. This is the whole process. We have seen this. And this is where the afflictions come in and create modifications and cause perturbations in this whole process, like a virus or a bug in a software system. So these afflictions cause perturbations in this whole process. I rarely get to use jargon and for quite some time now because I'm not working. So to demonstrate my knowledge as a quality professional, what we use in ISO 9001 for such perturbations is non-conformities or NCs there. I can't use jargon. So now we have our problem statement very clearly. Unsteadiness of mind caused by modifications can be traced to the root cause of afflictions. These afflictions garble sensory inputs and memories, experiences, feelings, etc. so that there is improper inputs to the processor for analysis. So all we need now is an action plan. We know what is happening. Now we have to know what to do about it. The modifications need to be restrained, that is nirodha. The afflictions cause these modifications, so they also need to be addressed. We have this, when we assess risk, we do an analysis and we see, we keep looking at risk and trying to address it in various manners and then bring it down to an acceptable level. So presumably, I think we can apply that logic to this too, so that we address these afflictions as much as possible and bring them down to a level which is acceptable, and then nirodha can be applied. Then they can be restored. So we are helping nirodha, and then we need to address the obstacles to nirodha. So we take afflictions, reduce their effect, and then we look at the obstacles and remove those obstacles. This is the action plan. So the modifications need to be restrained. The afflictions cause modifications. They need to be cured. And for restraining, we need to remove the obstacles to restraint, which are 10. So 5 afflictions, 10 obstacles with their 5 ancillaries. This is it. This is the problem statement. All we need to repeat: 5 afflictions, 10 obstacles, 5 adjuncts to them. This is the sum total of what needs to be addressed to remove non-conformances, non-conformity. Patanjali, of course, never fails us. He has given us solutions to both of these: how to remove the obstacles and how to remedy the afflictions. The practices to remove the obstacles are given in the Sadhana Pada from Sutras 1.32 to 1.39, and the practices to remedy the afflictions are given in Sadhana Pada, that is the book 2. The very first sutra of Sadhana Pada says that all the sutras, the practices that are to come in the further sutras form a system, and the name given to that system is Kriya Yoga. I said in the previous episode, whenever I refer to Kriya Yoga, it is to Sadhana Pada. There are other Kriya Yogas. I am not concerned about them. Rightness, wrongness, how effective they are, I am not aware. Given the importance of the first sutra of Sadhana Pada, I will recite the Sanskrit sutra. Tapaha swadhyaya ishvara pranidhanani Kriya Yoga. Purificatory practices in the sense of purification of the mind, study, that is study of the Yoga Sutras and associated disciplines, and making steadiness of the mind the sole objective of this exercise is Kriya Yoga. With this, we come to the conclusion of our problem statement. We have defined it completely. It took us some time, but as I said, I wanted to be sure that everything was made very clear. I hope this episode has put together everything completely, especially the graphics that you'll be seeing. And so we come to the conclusion of the problem statement. From the next episodes, we will discuss the practices. We will first address the 9 obstacles and their ancillaries, their supplements. And after that, we will, those are actually in Samadhi Pada, but we'll address them. And then the main Sadhana Pada, which is Kriya Yoga, and that gives us a manual for remedying the afflictions. Namaskaram, namaste, greetings. Thank you. I hope that you found something useful in this talk. If you did, please do like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Please comment as much as you can, whether I would love feedback to improve myself if necessary. So please go ahead and give constructive criticism. I would be very happy, and that's what I want. I don't want comments that say this is very good. That's all right. I mean, it does inflate the ego, but please do give me comments for improvement. Thank you very much again.